friends! So last week I chose not to do a video about the Orlando shooting because I just honestly was not emotionally prepared to handle it at that point. I spent about 3 days just watching Survivor in my spare time because Survivor is like my happy place show, which you'll probably get a video about that at some point in the future. But now I'm ready to talk about it, and the funny thing is I almost considered not doing this video this week because I feel like we've already started moving on from the tragedy. But then I thought, fuck it, we can afford at least a day per victim in this issue. So I know it's unpleasant, and I know no one really wants to get into this because of politics and who hates politics, but we really need to talk about the gun issue in the United States. And personally, I'm not even concerned solely with these mass issues. Yes, the huge mass shootings are horrible and we need to do something about them, but the little events are just as bad. As of the time I'm filming this, which keep in mind I do these ahead of time, so this is actually Friday evening, there have been at least 125 other people who have been killed by gunfire. And that may not seem like a big deal because of how many people we have in the US, but trust me, that's a big fucking deal. Statistically, 31 people every day die from being shot. And that's not even including the suicides. You'd have to add 50 more people per day in to get the number of people who die from a gunshot wound per day. And that is a lot of people. That is an epidemic if I've ever seen one. Think, we were so worried about Ebola and there were like, what, 3 people in the US that had it? Or hey, another one, let's talk about heroin. Heroin is notoriously known as a really bad drug that can kill you really easily. A lot of people overdose from it. Do you know how many people statistically die from heroin every day? 28. So there's 3 more people every day who get shot than who die from a notoriously deadly and highly illegal substance. And yet for the more deadly option, we're just like, yeah, well, whatever, it's fine. And let me just tell you right now, it's not fine. Now don't get me wrong, I don't think we have to ban all the guns. I'm from South Dakota and we really love our guns. The first day of hunting season is even a day off for some schools and businesses. So if you want a rifle to go hunting, that's perfectly fine. If you want a pistol to protect yourself, I really could not care less. But no one in their right mind needs an assault rifle. Those were made specifically for wars, and guess what? Here in the US, we're not in a war, except for apparently people who don't share the same opinion as us. That's fine. As it is, assault rifles are mainly so people can have their toys to hang out with, or so they can kill people, and there's no reason for them to be in public use. I mean, anytime this sort of thing comes up, I can't help but think of how we have banned Kinder eggs in the United States because they are too dangerous, but assault rifles, perfectly fine, no worries. And no, before you say anything, that's not because we care more about our kids. If we really cared about our kids, we would have been having this discussion after the Sandy Hook massacre, but instead we decided to make the powerful statement that we can live with a whole bunch of small children getting murdered because we still want to have our gun rights. And I don't know if people really realize that to all the other nations, we literally stood up and yelled out, hey, our guns are more important than our children. And I don't even really like kids, but that is not okay. So yes, this video is coming late, but yes, we still need to focus on it. If we only focus our attention for a week, nothing is going to get done. We need to continue to stay focused on this sort of issue. Because if we go back to our normal routine and forget that all of this ever happened, you know what's going to happen? We're going to have another massacre, and this time it's going to be worse. But in truth, there is only so much that ranting in a YouTube video can do, which is why I chose to write a letter to my senator and my 2 representatives about this issue. And if you feel as strongly about this issue as I do, and you think it's time to start talking at least about how we can possibly keep each other from killing a multitude of people just because we don't like them, then I would suggest that you do the same. I'll leave a link down below where you can figure out who your representatives are and how you can contact them in case you also want to have your voice heard. But for now, I feel like I've ranted enough about this issue for one day. I don't think I'm ever going to rant enough about it, but for one day. So I'm going to go, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye guys!